Report. Happy Thursday. What is up, Carol, Matthew, Joanne, Tyranna, Julissa, Bernadette? What is up? How's everyone doing? How's the weather in your neck of the woods? We had some weird weather today in SoCal. I woke up, it goes chance of thunderstorms. I was like, what? We didn't get any rain though. I guess some places did, but we didn't. And I didn't see no thunder, no lightning, no nothing. I was like, thunderstorms, yes. But Carrie, how's it going? But it was kind of weird. It was kind of gloomy this morning. I was expecting it to be warm, but it got warm later, so it's kind of warm now. Emily, what is up? Logical Spark, Osiris. How's everyone doing while we wait for people to trickle in? I do have some articles I will go through first before I get to the nitty gritty spooky wooky. Well, actually, technically, it's all spooky wooky today, but Logical Spark goes, there were storms here last night. Didn't stay up and watch them though. No thunder, no lightning. I was like, because I like thunderstorms. They're kind of interesting to see at night though, because you could see the sky light up. All right, guys, while we're waiting for people to trickle in, I have this. Gunner Girl, what is up? They finally announced. We've been waiting for so long. I forgot about it. And I'm a fan of Squid Games. As you know, I've got the little soldier men behind me. I also got the Loungefly bag, which you can kind of see. I don't know if you can see in the screen, but and I have the masks. I do love Squid Game, but I forgot about it. So I don't it's been so long, but they finally announced an update for it. Finally, with like it's like a teaser trailer that didn't give away much at all. Squid Game impressed the world with its Netflix debut. Much like similar horror experiences coming out of South Korea, the series focuses on the darker aspects of capitalism while showing the lengths that impoverished people will go through to survive. I kind of came across this by accident. I just saw it on, it's one of those where you go on Netflix and you see it and you're like, what is this? And then you decide to watch it and you're like, dang. The series did so well that Netflix went so far as to create a reality TV series around the premise. Granted, that series was called out for being tone deaf and exploitative, but still it goes to show how widely popular the series was. I saw an episode of that TV series and I didn't return to it. It just didn't appeal to me. Today I'm not sure if it's still up on Netflix, but it was on Netflix. Today we received a huge update about season 2 of Squid Game. According to Forbes, season 2 of Squid Game will drop on December 26th, 2024. When was the last time we saw Squid Game? I can't even remember. Not only that, but season 3 is slated to be released sometime in 2025. You can find the synopsis for Squid Game season 2 below. 3 years after winning Squid Game, player 456 remains determined to find the people behind the game and put an end to their vicious sport. Using the fortune to fund his search, Ji-hun starts with the most obvious of places, looks for a man in a sharp suit playing Dokji in the subway, but when his efforts finally yields results, the path toward taking down the organization proves to be deadlier than he imagined. To end the game, he needs to re-enter it. Who would want to re-enter it? That is crazy. Will the new season be able to live up to the hype? Only time will tell. In the meantime, maybe catch up on some of the other amazing horror coming out of South Korea. Either way, it is a great time to be a horror fan. That's all the information we have at this time. Make sure to check out the new teaser trailer for Squid Game Season 2 when you have a chance. It's really only just a teaser. It doesn't show much, but it's finally going to be here soon. I don't even remember the first one because it's been that long. Julissa goes, that is one popular series I haven't watched yet. Julius, if you don't mind subtitles, or you could do dub, but I never do the dub because the voice never matches the person. And plus I'm half Korean, so I kind of like to hear the language because it does remind me of my mom. I If you're in the mood to watching something with subtitles, because you have to be in the mood for it, because sometimes I'm not in the mood for it, check it out. It glued me from the start. It just caught me. I was like, dang, this is good. It was one of those like where you just decided to watch it and you're like, whoa. But check it out. Definitely, Julissa, when you get a chance, when you feel like reading subtitles. Because I know some of us, like, sometimes I don't feel like reading subtitles. I just want to relax and just listen. Bernadette goes, I love Squid Games. I want to know what's up with his red hair. Bernadette goes, I think the old man is still alive and still behind that. That was crazy with him. I felt for that guy, though. I do. Kimberly and Hart, what is up? Matthew goes, dubs make it better. I like seeing the words. It's just a problem with dubs, though. The voice never matches the person. Except, well, the last time I tried it, the voice did not match the person at all. Because if you watch it in Korean, right, the guy's voice is like kind of deep, and then when you dub it with English, it's like, hey there, over there, and I'm like, what? He doesn't have a high voice. What the hell? So that's why it frustrates me. But I mean, it's another option that you could use to watch it. It just makes I just can't concentrate because the voices just don't match, and I just start laughing. But they do, Julia said they do have a dub option where you you don't have to read subtitles. But we still have to wait a little while longer, December 26th. I mean, I guess we waited this long. I guess we could wait until it's the day after Christmas here in the States. So I think we could do it. Matthew goes, makes it more fun and interesting. Not for me. I get distracted, Matthew. But if you can get through it, that's a very good option. I just can't. I did it by accident one time, and I was like, what the hell? But it was scary, and it kind of made you think. It had a twist at the end, so it hopefully season 2 brings it. I don't know what to expect. It's like the article says, hopefully it brings it. Only time will tell. But I'm kind of glad we finally have a start date. Kimberly, yeah, it is still scary. I agree. Also, guys, if you're here in SoCal in the Long Beach area, the Queen Mary has finally opened room B340. If you're familiar with the Queen Mary, that room is their most haunted room, and it will soon reopen. I didn't even know it was closed, so this was kind of crazy. I know they just recently in the spring or so, like the starting of spring, maybe like toward the end of winter, they did finally open it up because they did close it for renovations. So they finally opened it up for tours. And then I went to a music festival that happened to be in this parking lot right next to the Queen Mary, so I got to go on for a bit. But I mean, you can't really, with the amount of people that was there, you really can't walk around and get a sense of the place, but it's beautiful inside. Ethereal enthusiasts, those seekers of the supernatural who keep an open mind about a place, unusual energy, strange cold spots, and odd apparitions, have their favorite phantom themed locations. These spots are often located around the planet, and tantalizing tales abound about the otherworldly vibes found in these storied destinations. The Queen Mary in Long Beach has frequently sailed through the minds of imaginations of those who adore ghost stories, even as the celebrated ship remains permanently moored in Long Beach, where it has been located since 1967. Though, given the ghostly nature of the stately sea roaming icon, perhaps eternally moored is more fitting. The Queenly landmark has long been rumored to be an active nexus for paranormal incidents, but few corners of the sizable ship have garnered the ghostly enthusiasm of the living, like room B340. The only thing I remember about the Queen Mary, my first introduction to it, well, I've actually stayed there. I think I was about 12, so it's been a while. Like I went with my parents, but I also remember Ghost Hunters doing an episode there, and they one of the people that worked there turned down the covers, and Ghost Hunters uncovered that. So I will never forget that. That's the one thing I always remember about the Queen Mary. It's a weird thing to remember about it, but that's one thing I remember about it. The reimagined space debuted to modern guests on Friday the 13th in 2018, April 13th to be specific, providing supernaturalists the chance to snooze or stay wide awake among those from beyond, if, of course, those from beyond chose to visit. The room shuttered in 2020 along with the rest of the ship, and it closed. It remained as major repair works took place around the Queen Mary, but ghost fans be cheered and maybe a tad chilled. Room 340, B340, will return September 13th, which, yes, indeed, is a Friday. So if you guys would like to book it and you are here in Long Beach, I'm pretty sure it's gonna. I don't know if they hiked the price on it, because I know during the music festivals, like rooms were almost $400 a night. It was like $350 or something like that. Booking information will soon materialize on the Queen Mary social pages, so stay tuned. When Room B340 shimmers into re-existence in 2018, the suit included atmospheric details like the Ouija board and text on the walls detailing sightings and spirited matters. How the room has transformed or remained closed to its original spirit will be revealed when the first guest floats inside in just a few weeks. Not planning to stay in B340, but still interested in one of the ship's bustling and haunted encounters experience, go here, Ghost Seekers, for more information. I believe they also have, like, they added like ghost hunting type of like tour to it too, if I'm not mistaken. But and I'm pretty sure those people, hopefully those first people that stay a night in that room, since I don't know if anyone's been in that room since. I'm assuming employees have, but I'm kind of curious to see who, like, the first people that get to stay in that room and what experiences they have. Matthew goes, I first saw it on a 90s show called Sighting, psychic Peter James and Sylvia Brown. Bernadette goes, I just hope they don't charge conjuring prices for the room. But Bernadette, like I said, when the music festival I went to, obviously they had an option to where you can stay at the ship too, which a lot of people opted for. And then I kind of was curious to see what the rooms, and they were like $340, almost like $400. It probably came out to $400 a night. So it's probably going to be about the same, unfortunately. But it did, when I did a little walkthrough, it did look nice. I did stay there, but it was years ago. Like I stated before, I was like 12 or something like that. I didn't feel anything, but at that time, I kind of, in my head, I knew it was haunted. So every little thing I heard, I was like, oh my God, what was that? Oh my God, what was that? Oh my God. So I wasn't in the, I wasn't in the right mind, because when you're young, like, you're like, oh my God, it's haunted. But now if I go in there, I'm like, it's a little different. Chris, what is up? I got one more article. And then we'll get into the why is it pushing that up? Pop-ups. Darn you. Then we'll get into the Nightmare on Elm Street house. It happened to pop up in my news feed. But Carol, she shared with me this cool site. I seen this site before, but I didn't realize it had a creepy section. And she pointed it out. So Carol, thank you for sending me this link. It does have kind of cool stuff. I'm going to share with you a little excerpt from it. I was like, okay, it shows the different states. So I was like, let's try Alaska. I've always wanted to go to Alaska. I've never heard anything, I've never talked about any stories from there. So I did find urban legends because I love urban legends. So I'm going to share that with you right now. If you guys do have an article, could be a video, could be an experience yourself, please email me at graysonreport13@gmail.com and I may share it on my next live stream. If you don't want me to say your name, please say so, because I did have an article. I wasn't sure if she didn't want me to it was about the Macamee Manor. I didn't know if she wanted me to say her name. So I didn't say her name, but I did give her a shout out. So just let me know if you don't want me to say your real name, or put your screen name on there so I know who it is. Because I don't want to give out your real name if you don't want your real name out. Again, if you do have a story, could be UFO related, even could be anything strange, something that you think is interesting, you think I would like, please email me at graysonreport13@gmail.com and I may share it on my next live stream. It is scrolling. I'll leave it scrolling for a bit at the bottom of the screen there. And as always, guys, I forgot Skeleduck is somewhere in this background. Just remind me before the end of the stream and I will reveal his location. He's kind of, again, in an easy spot, so shouldn't be too bad today. Bernadette, thank you. She has posted the email in the chat. So if you guys have a cool story, it could be a video. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but if you guys have a cool story, a story that you experienced, website, a video, UFO, aliens, whatever it may be, you think I would like, please email me at graysonreport13@gmail.com. Thank you, Bernadette. So Carol, this is kind of a cool site that she shared with me. It's only in your state. You could basically pick any state, and there is a creepy, if you scroll down, there is a creepy section, which I did not know. I found this Alaskan Urban Legends, Myths, and Folklore, Not Your Average Bucket List Season 2. I guess there is a show or something that's called that. For our second to last episode of Local Lore and Legends of Not Your Average Bucket List, we're heading up north to the great state of Alaska. Alaska has a ton of unexplored wilderness that already causes trouble for missing people, and we cover other unexplained phenomenon in this episode. For instance, did you know there was such a thing as an Alaskan triangle? I did, because I've spoke about it, or how on a previous stream, or how about the fact UFOs might be hiding away in Mount Hayes. We cover all of this and more in Alaskan Urban Legends. You guys, Liquid IV hydration, we are sponsored. If you guys would like to buy, no, I'm just kidding. So I guess this is a show that I've never heard about. They're sponsored by Liquid IV. So we start off with the Kushtaka, an Alaskan cryptid. Kushtakas are shapeshifters capable of assuming human and other forms. Their behavior varies in different accounts. Some depict them as cruel beings, tricking sailors to their deaths, while others show them as friendly creatures, saving lost individuals from freezing. They employ otter-like illusions of family and friends to distract and transform the lost into fellow Kushtaka, enabling survival in the cold. However, Kushtaka legends also have dark aspects. They mimic baby cries or women's screams to lure victims to rivers, where they either kill and tear them apart or transform them into a Kushtaka. I think I've talked about that before as well, but not in depth. The Alaskan Triangle or Alaskan Vortex. I know I've spoke about this before. The Alaskan Triangle in Northwest Alaska has witnessed over 20,000 disappearances in the past 50 years, prompting speculation about its causes. The treacherous landscape and local predators are often considered responsible. However, the region's rich folklore suggests that urban legends hold the key to unraveling this enigma. Similar to the infamous Bermuda Triangle, the Alaskan Triangle encompasses Juneau, Anchorage, and Barrow, where numerous individuals and planes have vanished without a trace. The Tlingit tribe, I apologize if I am butchering that, attributes these disappearances to demons and malevolent spirits, while others blame the Kelut, black hairless dogs. Regardless, caution is advised when venturing into the wilderness. I think that's a thing to keep in mind when you're going into any type of wilderness, is to be careful. Alaska boasts a significant concentration of magnetic anomalies, leading to a theory that the Alaskan Triangle might harbor a space vortex capable of transporting objects to another dimension. This hypothesis provides a possible explanation for the frequent occurrences of people and items going missing within the triangle's boundaries. The Alaskan UFO base in Mount Hayes. I have never heard of this. Mount Hayes is the highest mountain in the eastern Alaskan range and is speculated to house numerous extraterrestrials and UFOs. UFO sightings began during the 40s and were soon numerous enough to gather the attention of the FBI, who started investigating the area. Experienced military personnel continued to report strange phenomenon throughout the following years, and in the late 90s, Pat Price, a former CIA remote viewer, claimed the mountain housed one of the aliens' largest bases. History Channel, Travel Channel, everyone has talked about the place. I watched an episode of the History Channel, Missing in Alaska, to prepare for the episode, and it had some pretty compelling visuals and a video of a UFO directly over Mount Hayes. I highly recommend Missing in Alaska. It covers everything from a lake dragon to Arctic mermaids, demon wolves, and more. And I believe that's all that's in this article, just to give a little taste. I'm sure there's more folklore. Emily, thank you for gifting one membership, and welcome Tyranna back to the Wolfpack. Hearts for Emily, and welcome Tyranna back to the Wolfpack. Thank you, Emily. Carrie goes, thanks for running that Macamee Manor story. No problem. It was pretty interesting. I did get a chance. If you guys have not had a chance and you have Hulu, check out The Monster Inside. I was able to watch it right before going to bed. It kind of gives you a little more insight than what I went over. That it's crazy. What I got out of it was these people that do go through these extreme horror experiences, and the main thing I heard was, if I could get through that, I could get through anything. So it's not like I mean, there's some people that go through it for adrenaline rush, but I felt like these people were doing it to prove something to themselves in a way. And then the owner, it gave a little more insight about him, and it does show some other extreme horrors where there's a safe word. But with the Macamee, or the Macamee, I think I pronounced it wrong in the early stream, previous stream, but it doesn't stop until he says so. So, and it even goes through, it shows people who've actually been through it, and he even had a friend that went through it, and the friend was like, stop, I can't do this anymore, and he kept going. So you guys, if you guys have Hulu, check out The Monster Inside on Hulu. It really opens yourself, it really gives you more insight as to what these are. I mean, I've never really had a hankering to go to one of those, but I knew they existed, but I didn't know like they were that extreme. Bernadette goes, oh, I watched Ding. That was disturbing even for me. It gave you more of an, I agree, Carrie. It's a great documentary. Carrie also said a lot of people with trauma do those shows. Yes, it seemed like that as well. But Carol goes, I watched that show. It's very interesting. So again, if you guys, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but if you guys want a little more insight on the Macamee Manor, check out Monster Inside on Hulu. It's pretty, like Bernadette says, it's crazy, it's disturbing. He even put his girlfriends through it, put it that way. And and now it kind of made what I had, talked about in the previous stream a little more clear. I kind of wish I watched it before, but yeah, check it out. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, I'm Bernadette. I like horror. I'm the same way. I like horror. I don't go to those things to get scared, but if I do get scared, it's fun to see if I jump. Because that's my thing. Like if I go through like a house, it's like I'm gonna go through here without jumping. Like I'm gonna try to see who's gonna jump out. Like that's what goes in my mind. But I get what you're saying, Bernadette. I like horror. I like to be scared, but not like that. That's just like taking it to like the next level. And there's one. I have a list. Before I get into the Nightmare on Elm Street. Before I get into the Nightmare on Elm Street, I do have a list of extreme horror because I was curious to see what was out there. But there's a lot more. And I found this article. It's the 11 most ridiculous, terrifying, extreme haunted houses and attractions. It did in that documentary. It did show some, and they had safe words, which I think they should have because I mean, if you can't take it anymore, there should be a word where you could say, please stop, and then you get pulled out of it. These extreme haunted houses are not for the faint of heart. For some, it's a way of life. You will not wind through mazes and encounter actors in masks who jump out and say boo before letting you on your way, which is basically like the normal ones I've been through. No, these monsters will grab you, tie you up, pull a hood over your head, throw you in a trunk, and that's only the beginning of the gonzo experience offered by extreme horror attractions. If you call them attractions, repulsion might be a better word for it. Some of these morbid experiences are rooted in psychological terror. They pose intensely personal questions while chipping away at your identity. It's like being, like I had said in my previous stream, it's like being in an actual horror movie. Others ask you to crawl through tight spaces in the dark all by yourself with no clue to what might be waiting around the corner. One of them is an 8-hour tour so controversial, even other haunted house creators want to shut it down. These are the intense Halloween attractions to hit if you want to experience the kind of real terror that sticks with you long after the show. So there's more than just that one. Heretic House. Heretic House is a mysterious LA haunt. I am not going to subscribe. That takes place year-round in various locations. The narrative revolves around the heretic and those who worship him, but standalone shows deviate from the core tale to explore themes such as claustrophobia, sleep paralysis, or the intrinsic horror of being alone in the cabin in the woods. Guests are bound, grabbed, roughly moved about, covered in fake blood, lightly clawed, suffocated, nailed into coffins, and may have their clothes shredded. Among other horrors, is anyone else relieved to know the clawing you get before being stripped and nailed in a coffin is light? Blackout Haunted House. I believe that Heretic House is in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if they're still around because this article is about 2 years old. Blackout Haunted House. Blackout Haunted House, considered by many the first extreme haunt, launched in New York in 2006 and has expanded to Los Angeles and San Francisco. It offers horror experiences online or via text. What? Participants have been waterboarded, touched, forced to walk barefoot over waste, and suffocated with plastic. These experiences are simulated, but many visitors report an extremely unpleasant experience, which obviously is a point. The documentary, The Black Experiments, details the haunt and those who've gone through it. Macamee Manor, which we already know. I won't talk about it because we know about that one. Talked about it the previous. It started here in San Diego. And the reason I didn't know at the time, the reason they kind of had like a petition to shut him down. So he shut it down and he moved out of state. So that was the reason why he moved out of California. Bernadette goes, I mean, they have the right to pull teeth. They were Bernadette. They were cutting the girl's hair in the Hulu thing in the documentary. So they could do that too. I wouldn't want someone cutting my hair. um, Victim experience, no longer in operation, was the extreme version of the Freaklin Brothers Gates of Hell haunt in Las Vegas. As the name suggests, you are vulnerable to unknown tormentors who want nothing more than to make you say the safe word purgatory. However, guests who see I'm cool if there's a safe word. Like, I feel like that's a little more like if you can't take it anymore, or you're having a panic attack, or you got in over your head, at least you have a safe word. However, guests who have made it out claim to have felt a sense of accomplishment, and the creators of the haunt assure you that they're rooting for you to make it through the simulated danger. Some guests have reported being bound, gagged, hit, dunked in ice water, and stunned. Scarehouse warns you will be touched, bound, blindfolded, tormented, challenged, and scared out of your mind. Oh, good. There also may be electronic shocks. I don't know. No, thank you. Profanity, total darkness, and content, which seems to be running theme here. Participants must be at least 18 and have to sign a waiver. Well, duh. You may choose to enter in pairs or by yourself if you dare. If it makes you feel any better, the extreme experience has been family owned and operated since 1999. Miasma, I guess is how you pronounce that. I'm not sure. Or miasma describes itself as a physical and psychological terror experience in which you step into someone else's shoes and experiences a personal story of guilt and perhaps redemption. It's a one-night invitation-only show, and guests are informed of its location 24 hours prior to the event. Guests are warned that subject matters may be intense and you may be bound, forced to crawl and placed in pitch darkness. You must enter alone, cannot wear glasses, and should expect to experience exposures to liquids and gels and demanding physical and psychological moments. Sounds kind of like a full contact shower. Stag. Drunk Monkey Tattoo offers Stag in Signa, Michigan. The hunt requires participants to enter alone. Guests are not allowed to speak, with the exception of the safe word should you need it. Details are intentionally murky, but it's described as an extreme haunt in which participants complete tasks to progress. Last year's haunt, for instance, had guests delivering a baby, then trying to find its blanket and bottle. Creators warn the haunt will provoke the senses, and those who have experienced trauma or who have an extreme personal bubble should stay away. These are crazy. Tyranna! Thank you for your super sticker of the fitness pair. Hearts for Tyranna, guys. Thank you, Tyranna. Chris goes, I can't believe these type of attractions exist. No, thank you. Exactly. Bernadette goes, my safe word is Harry. Haunted. Oh my God. Really? Haunted Hoochie at Dead Acres. Haunted Hoochie at Dead Acres doesn't sound very scary, but a visit to the Pataskala, Ohio-based haunt website, I'm guessing it's Ohio because it's OH, will show just what kind of demented hell you're dealing with here. Demons spouting flames, woman bound and gagged on the floor, blood-drenching rednecks wielding machetes and power tools. It's like gathering of the Jigaloos as a haunt. You're liable to get taken out of nowhere, thrown over someone's shoulder, and confronted with one of what appears to be many chainsaw-wielding psychopaths at the Midwest premier extreme haunt. Actually, you know what? This one sounds very mild compared to the other ones I spoke about. The Tension Experience. The Tension Experience from Saw 2, 3, and 4 director Darren Lynn Bosman and writer Clint Sears. They have one? Focuses on psychological horror. The experience revolves around a mysterious cult, OOA Institute, and your induction into said cult. Much of the story takes place online as an augmented reality game. The actual experience is a 2.5-hour immersive performance in a 24-room warehouse in Los Angeles and incorporates more than 40 actors. No two guests have the same experience. There are many paths through the warehouse. The outcome of your terror depends upon the choices you make. Guests are subject to unclothed figures writhing in the sand, forced to answer extremely personal questions, exposed to ethereal central experience, and plunged into total darkness. That still sounds mild compared to the other ones. The Basement, with outposts and a lot of these are in Los Angeles, believe it or not. In Los Angeles and Las Vegas, the basement prides itself on being the scariest escape room around. I think I've heard of this one. The story is you've been snatched by cannibal slayer Edward Tandy, who imprisons you in his basement, but I did not know. I think I've heard of it, but I didn't know it was like an extreme one. I just thought it was like an escape room. He's going to eat you unless you can solve a number of clues. You have 45 minutes. The puzzles isn't easy. It took creator Caden Rezel months to design. If you succeed, you escape his broiler room, not for the claustrophobic, as well as other parts of the house, creepy actors, a few tight situations, and scrounging around in the dark makes this a more chilling escape room than, say, the ones where you have to find a detective's secret files or complete a casino caper. This one sounds mild too. Terror Behind the Walls. Philadelphia Haunt Terror Behind the Walls takes place at the Eastern State Penitentiary, a very creepy setting, much like Long Beach's The Queen Mary, which does its own not so extreme haunt every Halloween. ESP has a solid foundation in people believing it's already haunted. At Terror Behind the Walls, you have a choice, a traditional experience in which actors aren't allowed to touch you, or one in which you allow yourself to be touched, grabbed, separated from your group, or show hidden parts of the haunt. You may be thrown into a haunted prison cell or forced into an operating table. That actually does not sound bad compared to what some of those are tame. Compared to the Macamee how manner. Carrie, there's a lot of actors looking for work in LA. Bernadette goes haunted. Hoochie was my cousin's name in high school. Lisa Boo, what's up? But there are some, but some of those are tame. Some of those, there's a few that didn't seem like they were too bad that I would probably actually try. But the first couple ones I had read, nope. I don't want to be dragged, waterboarded, etc., etc., etc. Nope. I am not looking for that type of experience. That is just crazy. I like horror, but not that type of experience. So the Nightmare on Elm Street house here in Los Angeles, I've actually been to it. I've been to the front of it. When I go to these places, I'm very, I guess, well, no one was outside, so I was lucky. But I don't bother anybody. I'm kind of respectful. But I guess in 2022, the Nightmare on Elm Street house, before I get into the article, it was sold in 2022 for nearly $3 million. I guess the owner that owns it now, he painted the door red, so it does have that iconic red door. And I believe when I went, which is I think I went a couple of years ago, it was a red door because I remember it being red. It's a Dutch colonial style residence with walnut floor, circular archway, and French doors leading to the pool and spa area. It listed for $3.25 million with offers due by midnight on Halloween. Listing records show, but after failing to find a buyer, the price was dropped to $2.99 million. Only $2.99 million. The resident was owned at the time by director screenwriter Loren Scarfaria, who bought the home for $2.1 million in 2013. I mean, I'm kind of paraphrasing, guys. The 1941 home was remodeled in the mid-2000s by an English designer, and highlights include an open retro modern kitchen, beautiful built-in, a grand primary suite, and bathrooms in suite to every bedroom. The listing said there's also a separate laundry room, several areas from which to work from home, and plenty of terrace and patios that maximize the use of the gorgeous grounds. It does not say in this article who bought it, but I saw this article and on iHorror. I happen to follow it on because they do have some cool articles. So um fans watch as owner of Nightmare on Elm Street house publicly berates onlooker. I kind of feel like they were both involved. I will show the TikTok prior, oh my god, after I read the article, like something out of a reality show. The owner of the iconic A Nightmare on Elm Street house located in Hollywood lashed out at a neighbor after she allegedly made comments about the property while the owner was in earshot. The exchange escalated quickly and ended with the owner walking away shouting explicatives and classic insults. Witness describes what happens. These days everything you do is probably being recorded. That was the case for this story, as costumed fans were visiting the house just before the verbal assault. Local spooky dude on Instagram posted their version of what went down. So here's what happened. She was walking her dog and seen Freddy taking a photo in front of the house and said, "Freddy, you finally returned home," followed by a wish they had more spooky decor to pay tribute to the classic film, which I feel like honestly it's not being mean or anything. Or I don't feel like she was being mean. I honestly don't. I felt like she was just making an observation, you know, giving her own opinion, which we have a right to. We have a right to opinion. Oh man, I wish it was more spooky. But to me, when I went to it, I don't honestly think it needs anything. Just looking at it, it's creepy. With the red door, you don't see too many houses with red doors. So when you see a house with a red door, especially one that was in a horror movie that you grew up with, it's crazy. It still has that even it doesn't need the decorations in my opinion. Like it already has the creep factor to it when you go there. And also too, it's a very quiet neighborhood. So when you do go, it's quiet as hell. Even though it is in Los Angeles, it's a quiet neighborhood. So it just adds on to the the creepiness, the omniance of it. Obviously not that day. There was a lot of people. It probably happened over the weekend. There was people there, but when I went, there was no one there. The owner heard her say that and replied with what you seen in the video, which I will show after I finish reading the article. The new owner yells explicatives at the passerby, apparently offended by her comment about its lacking appropriate Krueger theming. Keep in mind, the new owner has returned the iconic front door to red as it is in the movie. The previous owner had changed it to black. Probably the previous owner didn't want the attention to it. That's the only thing I'm guessing why, because I would have kept it red. Come on. Social media users catch the whole thing on video. They really don't catch the whole thing because they basically catch it after she made the comment. Since the iconic cinematic landmark is such a bucket list location, there were people out front of the property taking pictures. The homeowners seemed to be having a pleasant time talking to them. He's smiling, engaging in what seems like a split second. He turns from hospital to hostile in the wake of the dog walker's flippant criticism. The homeowners increasingly agitated says, if that's what you want, just buy the house, but since you can't afford it, maybe you should just. The homeowner, unfazed by the man's insult, the dog walker doubles down and suggests they have a block party. She also acts, and she's very sarcastic. She's like, "Oh, you should have a block party." She also acts surprised when she learns she is talking to the actual owner. Even she's being sarcastic. Even though she apologizes, her comments don't sit well with him. "You are an effing rude," he says. "Get out," he yells, adding, "Humans live here. How dare you?" Take a look at the video below. I will in a minute. After I finish the article. One social media observer's hot take: sassy Sledgehammer is the handle of one Instagram. A Nightmare on Elm Street fan, after seeking the video, she offers her own opinion on what she thinks happened, starting with the flattened cardboard box the owner is carrying. Maybe he wasn't being so accommodating after all. It's speculated that he might have been trying to obscure the fans' view of the house by holding it in front of their camera. Still, that is just conjecture. What do you think? Given the circumstances, what would you do if you overheard someone criticize your house? Would you have handled the situation the same way this homeowner did, or would you just let it go, chalk it up to a ruling from the court of public opinion? Also, do you think the homeowner should decorate his property a horror, honor its significant and cinematic history? Let us know in the comments. Basically, it doesn't show, which I'm gonna play. This is a Instagram. Let me see if I can pull it up. Did he post it, or did they put a different Instagram on this? That way I can pull it up so you guys can see. Give me a second, guys. It doesn't start off with Freddy being in front of the house taking a picture. It starts after that. And it looks like this guy's Instagram, he dresses up as Freddy, so that's probably why he was there. I do not see the video on his Instagram. Oh, here it is. So this is, give me a second as I switch screens, because I'm trying to make it so you guys can see it a little better. Project Metal Music, what is up? What is up, Kyle? Real quick. Logical Spark goes, hey, Lisa, have you been to the place where the Birds was filmed? No, I have not. So here is the Instagram. The guy that owns this Instagram, he looks like he's like a Freddy Krueger. He dresses up as Freddy Krueger. This is from Swag Boy Freddy. I don't know if you can see the video. Let me see if I can bring it up a little so you can see it kind of more. Oh, that makes it smaller. Never mind. So this is on Instagram.
The house.
I would. Somebody lives in
But
it.
since you can afford it, maybe you should just
I have another house.
Yeah, do I come to your house and say, why do you have your house that way?
No. Oh, this is your house?
Yeah.
You should have a block party.
No.
Why? Oh my God.
No,
Your house is so iconic. You're the owner? I live on the other side of Ogden.
Yeah. But what happens if I came to your house and I said, I don't like the way that your house looks? That's so fucking rude.
No, your house is adorable.
You're so fucking rude.
I didn't mean to offend you.
Please go away.
I feel like,
please go away.
You know what? I did not mean to offend
How
you.
disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Because people live here.
I know.
Humans live here.
love your
How
house.
dare you?
Okay.
Get out.
Well, you know what? We celebrate
So
life.
disrespectful.
We celebrate life.
So no, you're not. You're very
you
disrespectful.
should just walk away.
Get out!
Oh, it was windy that day. Sorry, guys. So that's basically the video. I'm not, they say in the article that it started because she made a comment about, like it should be more decorative, which I feel like is not, I mean, she's just giving her opinion. I think I don't know what happened. He just got mad and he started, throwing F-bombs at her. But then, of course, she was kind of being sarcastic back too. So I feel like she should have just walked away. I would have just walked away. I would have been like, oh, I'm sorry. I walked away. But she was kind of being sarcastic back to him in a way. So it was like, I felt like it's both of them. She was kind of fueling him. And then I would have just walked away at that point. I don't know. What do you guys think? Carol goes, the house I live in has red doors. I think that's super cool, though, the red doors. Bernadette goes, he's making too much of it. Delea, what is up? Lisa Boo goes, I wouldn't pay any attention to it. I pretty much feel like if I were her, I would have just walked away. Like that's I basically I mean, some people he probably worked hard to get that house. So, and by what I told you, I'm not sure it didn't mention who the owner or who bought the house in that previous article, but it was sold in 2022 for, almost 3 million. So if I bought a house for 3 million, and I get it, but I feel like he took it the wrong way, but then she fueled it kind of in the way because she's being sarcastic. I don't know. That's what I was seeing. I would have just walked away. What do you guys think? Kyle goes, he probably gets a dozen of those fangirls and he's just sick of them. But then also in the article, it does say, but it's not shown on video. So I don't know, like, if how truthful it is. Because it's not on video, but they did say like he was being cordial with people before this moment. Emily goes, Karen with a twig and berries. Bernadette goes, these younger whippersnappers these days, back in my day. Gunner Girl goes, can you play it again? Yeah, but hold on, guys, because I know it's an Instagram video, but I'm gonna be a little careful here. You guys can you'll be able to hear the audio, because I'm not sure. YouTube likes to be pesky, so I just want to.
Why don't you just buy the house?
I would. Somebody
Yeah,
lives in
but
it.
since you can afford it, maybe you should just
I have another house.
Yeah, and do I come to your house and say, why do you have your house that way?
No. Oh, this is your house?
Yeah.
You should have a block party.
No.
Why? Oh my God!
No,
Your house is so iconic. You're the owner? I live on the other side of Ogden.
Yeah. But what happens if I came to your house and I said, I don't like the way that your house looks? That's so fucking rude.
No, your house is adorable.
You're so fucking rude.
I didn't mean to offend you.
Please go away. Please go away.
You know what? I did not mean to offend
How
you.
disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Listen, people live here.
I know.
Humans live here.
We love your
How
house.
dare you?
Okay.
Get out.
Well, you know what? We celebrate
So
life.
disrespectful.
We celebrate life.
So no, you're not. You're very disrespectful. Get out! If that's what you want, why don't you just buy the house?
Hold on, guys. She should have just walked away. Shelly, what is up? I feel like she should have just walked away. Like she kind of, I felt like she was a little sarcastic. He was even smiling, if you saw, like when she was like, "Oh my God, this is your house." Like she was being sarcastic. But I felt like she should have just walked away and be like, okay, I'm sorry. And then just walked away and it'd be the end of it. That's what I would have done, honestly. He probably was just having a bad day or whatnot. We have bad days, but I feel like both of them, like yeah, I agree, Kyle. It's his house and his right. He's probably having a bad day. She kind of fueled it. He took his comment. He took her comment the wrong way. So it's like, and then she just kept on going like, oh my God, it's your house. So I felt like at that point, she should have said sorry and just walked away. I would have just walked away. I would have been like, forget this. I don't need to stand here and argue with you. Birdie Dick goes, oh my God, what would Freddy Krueger do? He's the one that filmed it. It's the guy that filmed it, or the Instagram that it's on. He's a Freddy Krueger impersonator. So, but it's crazy. Shelly goes, miscommunication. Maybe he didn't hear. No, I think he heard what she said, because he said, what if I go to your house and said stuff about it? So he did hear what she said. He just, I mean, I get it. Like, people take pride in their houses. Like, I totally understand. That house was what, almost 3 million, I think, in the previous article I had read. So I get it. And he painted the door red to pay homage to the movie. So if someone's telling me like it needs to be more creepy, which I don't think it needs to be more creepy. I've been there. It's creepy enough just looking at it. And it's a quiet neighborhood. When I went, I think I went on a Sunday afternoon, but like no one was there. But it's creepy enough just being in front of it. I don't think it means anything personally. So and it's cool with a Freddy Krueger guy, someone dressed up as Freddy Krueger taking a picture in front of it. That's cool, like, but I felt like she should have just walked away. What I agree with what Kyle says. It's his house. It's his property, his right, which I agree. She should have just walked away. Would have avoided the whole thing in the first place. I would have said, okay, I'm sorry, and walked away. And then, like, you know, say later, go, you know what the guy did? I wouldn't have made it like, and I felt like him throwing F-bombs was kind of rude though too. He shouldn't have thrown F-bombs. She wasn't throwing F-bombs back at him. So I felt like that was kind of, that was a little rude. That was a little overboard, on his part, but to each his own. Gunner Girl goes, thanks, Lisa. I heard her say, I didn't mean to offend you. I think he overreacted. If you buy a house with that history, you got to expect people to look. Exactly. That too. I agree. I've heard that the people that own the Amityville house don't like people gawking at their house. I've never been there, so I don't know how truthful that is, but that's what I've heard. But I agree with what you say. If you have a house like that, you're obviously going to have that attention. You're going to expect it. So, like, literally your privacy is out the door. I mean, if the people are respecting your property, it's not like they're going through your gates and knocking on your door. They're just taking pictures in front of it. If someone was doing that, I'd be cool. And not making a big commotion. I would care less what they say. You know what I mean? They're just there taking pictures because obviously it was in the Nightmare on Elm Street, one of the biggest horror films. If you have a house that was freaking like even the Conjuring house, that too, you know what I mean? You're gonna have that. No one lives in the Conjuring house as far as I know, but you're gonna get that attention. Shelly goes, I agree. Tyrana goes, I agree. Matthew goes, the whole neighborhood of Amityville house gets mad when people are there. I mean, if you have a house that was featured in a movie, you're going to get the attention. I'm pretty sure the person that bought the murder house from American Horror Story gets attention. I've never been to that, but that's somewhere around here. That house is amazing. And I'm sure that person gets it. I'm pretty sure the Brady house gets it. I'm pretty sure the house that was in Poltergeist gets it. Any house that they feature in a movie and you see the outside of it, and you're going to get that attention. It doesn't matter. So if you buy that house, it comes with the property. You just have to accept it. Julissa goes, he overreacted. The attention is expected if you purchase the iconic home. Lisa Boo, thank you for gifting 1 membership and welcome Project Metal Music back to the Wolf Pack. Hearts for Lisa Boo. And welcome the new Wolf Pack member. Thank you, Lisa Boo. I really appreciate that. Shelly Fitzgerald goes, the house, Home Alone house gets it. I'm sure the Full House gets it. Full House gets it. That's up in San Francisco area. Gets it. So, I mean, if you have that house, it's in the neighborhood. Bernadette, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Hearts for Bernadette as well. Welcome, Joanne, Gunner Girl, Dusty, Wendy, Saffron, Kat, Casey, Daniel, Sky, to the Wolf Pack. Hearts for Bernadette and all the new Wolf Pack members. Thank you, Bernadette. I really, really appreciate that. And thank you again, Lisa Boo. So it makes no sense why these people, to me, would get mad. It just comes with the territory. Like, I would expect it. Like, it's the same thing if you're on, it's like an actor that doesn't want the attention. I mean, obviously, you're going to get the attention. So it comes with the territory. So you kind of have to accept it kind of way. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get it. People like their privacy. I totally understand that. I get it. But if you're in that position where you have a known house, if you're an actor, if you're on YouTube even, people are going to recognize you. So it's kind of like you have to kind of accept it in a way. So it comes with the territory. Like, you just have to go with the flow sometimes. He probably could have just had a bad day and misunderstood what she was saying. She took it the wrong way. And then she kind of fueled it a little bit, and she should have just walked away. So I felt like it's on, I kind of feel like it's on both sides. She should have just walked away too. But he shouldn't have F-bombed her. That was wrong. He went a little overboard with that, but I can't think of any other haunted houses. I'm trying to think that would get that attention too. Like, any house, it doesn't have to be in the horror movies. It could be in a TV show or just in a movie. That too. In fact, that's a weird thing. I have a tree in front of my house, so it gives shade to the street. So sometimes people park under that. Well, someone parked under it, so I was going out, and I'm like, "Who the F are you?" Because I don't know. I get weary when I see people I don't know, and I'm coming out of my house, so I'm like, I was like, all right. So as I'm pulling out, they're under my tree with a camera, like a Canon type of camera, and I was like, what the heck are they doing? They podcasting for something? What, is something happened on my street that I didn't know about? Like some. So I was cool with it because I was like, who are they? Are they going to rob me or something? But then I saw them with the camera. I was like, okay, they're podcasters or something. But what are they podcasting? Like, did something happen on my street that I don't know about? So, but it just comes with the. I know there's a house. I don't know if any. Well, obviously, I don't think anybody really knows the location. There's a house that Richard Ramirez hit here, but it's on the other side of town. I don't know what house it is, and I don't think it's listed anywhere, but if people know, I'm pretty sure they're driving by that house too. So it doesn't matter. But it's interesting to see, how people act to certain situations sometimes. All right, guys, I have one more article, and then we'll open it up for questions. I'll do this one because it's a place I want to go to. So I found this article on the Daily Mail. It kind of talks about a place I want to go to. I know there's a lot of these places in different states. I think there's one in Texas because I think Brandon had mentioned there was one similar to it in Texas. Mystery of America's creepiest road, the paranormal hotspot haunted by children where cars seem to roll uphill. One of the spookiest paranormal hotspots in the U.S. sits in the foothills of Southern California on a haunted stretch of road where vehicles actually appear to roll uphill on their own. The creepy crossroad is Silmar's Gravity Hill, a sloped stretch of road where visitors are left awestruck as their vehicle starts lurching up the incline. The eerie phenomenon can be seen in dozens of YouTube videos. I've seen it in I guess those, I don't know what you call it, where they talk about haunted places shows. Other visitors claim they've also seen children-like apparitions near the road and heard sounds of disembodied voices in the distance. Your eyes tell you one thing, but then the way the environment reacts is something else, and that is very, very astute. A very, very astute thing to notice when it comes to paranormal phenomenon. Paranormal investigator Susan Slaughter said on an episode of Paranormal Caught on Camera, that's probably where I've kind of watched Paranormal Caught on Camera, but seen a few clips from there. I'm not really an avid watcher of it. That focuses on the hill. So I guess this is the hill pictured here. Silmar's Gravity Hill. And here's another view of it. Because what your eyes translate doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's really happening, she added. Slaughter's description of her experience on the hill is not unique and points to some of the explanations of the strange occurrences that have been debated and some say debunked. One is that it's simply an optical illusion caused by an obstructed view of the horizon, which makes judging the actual direction of the slope of the road difficult due to an absence of point of reference. I'm not sure if this is the one, if this is the hill where they would put baby powder or baking soda on the hood of the car or on the back of the car, and they would, the car would move and they would find the, like, child's handprints on it. Another is that the movement is the result of magnetic forces, an anomaly that causes objects to move in unexpected ways. Some maintain it's the work of unseen apparitions, one that are said to push cars up the street that's just a 30-minute drive to Beverly Hills in downtown LA. Meanwhile, urban legend persists, claiming that the driver of a school bus full of children lost control and crashed at some point on the unassuming road, which is flanked by a cemetery. Saad Bekissel, host of the last podcast on the left, joked about the prospects of the show's inaugural episode in 2019. They also say, I've read, it's basically the children pushing you out of the way so that way you wouldn't get hit by a car. So they're kind of protecting you. Apparently, a bunch of ghost kids push your car up a hill, the comic said during a segment focused on the rural road, which one connected the San Fernando Valley to the rest of California. The nicest thing a ghost could do, he went on laughing off the eeriness, save you gas, really helps you out. This guy's kind of joking. This has been dismissed as superstition, and no record of such crash exists, but during its stagecoach days, numerous accidents or tragedies did in fact take place, further fueling rumors of its haunted nature. The fact that objects like a ball and car and streams of water appear to move up the slope as opposed to down doesn't help its unsettling feeling. Moreover, the number of eerie experiences cannot be ignored as tourists and locals continue to flock to the site armed with cameras and levelers, intent on finding proof of the paranormal. The street appears to slope downhill from south to north, but looking at elevations from the Los Angeles Region Imaginary Acquisition Consortium, LARIAC program, this is quickly proven wrong. Instead, the data shows that the road slopes downhill from north to south from an elevation of 1,700 feet. The bottom of the hill, which most believe is the top, is 1,650 feet, but the lack of horizon and missing views of Angeles National Forest to the north obscures the fact, creating a trick of the eye that makes it appear as if things are rolling up the hill. I have never been here, so I'm not sure if what this article is saying is correct beyond California, but I do know there's always, if there's a paranormal thing going on, there's always someone trying to debunk it, which is nothing wrong with that. Always good to debunk things. Beyond California, the visual phenomenon may also be the root cause of nearly 24 other gravity hills across the world. More than a dozen of them are located in the U.S. alone, including 2 in California. One can be found in the redwoods of the Santa Cruz Mountains, while the other is only a few miles away from the one in Silmar and famously hilly LA County. However, the Silmar Gravity Hill, I think the one in LA County is in can't think of the name. It's not Pasadena. It's a city next to it. I'm brain farting right now. I can't think of it. However, the Silmar Gravity Hill in Cagle Canyon appears to be the most pronounced example of the phenomenon, and it's compounded by its creepy settings and somewhat unsettling theory. This dates back to the 19th century when the Altadena, that's it, when the road was used by early settlers to travel on horseback. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken, but I think it's in Altadena or around there. The old stagecoach trail claimed countless lives, and its neighboring cemetery, Glen Haven Memorial Park, was erected in the 40s, feeding into the eerie lore. Still, many remain firm in their belief that the not-so-scenic SoCal Hill is haunted, with some claiming they spotted handprints on the side of their car after being brought for a ride on the misleading hill. However, Robert Furry, professor of integrated sciences at Harrisburg University, previously debunked these claims in an experience he performed at another gravity hill in suburban Pennsylvania. The legend there, like that of Silmar, is if you throw a powdery substance like flour on the sides of your car following the unexplained movement, you see the fingerprints of the kids. It's just like taking actual fingerprints. Dr. Furry told Fox 43 News in October 2022 of why handprints appear. If you put dust on the car, the oil that somebody's hand left there acts like a fingerprint, and so you think you're seeing ghost handprints. Well, the way to debunk that is make sure you clean your car before you do it. Tales that told in the dark, what is up? So, as cool as this experience, it's not supernatural activity, and we can lay that to rest. Furry has had very scientific explanations for the actual phenomenon as well. What you're actually seeing is clues on the horizon that make you think that the angles are different from what they actually are. The experts explain the mind wants to think that the intersecting rows is perpendicular, but in reality it is not. They use water to show that it's not the case. He continued, referencing a method used by a YouTuber who visited Silmar in 2009. There's plenty of YouTube video, guys, if you want to check it out. The angle of the road on the side and these visual clues and cues that you get from looking around, you make it look like it's rolling backwards up the hill, but in reality, continues, there's a dip right before the intersection that makes the vehicle roll. When the car was rolled, they look like they're rolling backwards up the hill, but in fact, they're rolling backwards down a straight hill. As for where the illusion starts, Furry is clear. The phenomenon begins in our minds. Guys, so what do you think it is? Do you think it's I had it in the wrong view. Sorry, guys. What do you guys think it is? Do you guys think it's paranormal? Because it did say there's accidents. Might not necessarily be the accidents that people claim it, but there were accidents on that road. So do you think it's paranormal? Do you think it's something scientific that can be, like what that guy said, that if you put powder on your car and you had touched the car previously, the oils will be absorbed and it will show a handprint. Nerd Report in the house. What's up? Bernadette. Julissa goes, there's a place like that in Santa Cruz Mountains called the Mystery Spot. There are areas that defy gravity. And I did not know. I guess I thought the Silmar one was the other one, the one I was thinking of in California, but it isn't. I did not know about this one. I believe, like I said, the other one is in Altadena area. That was the one that I've been wanting to go to. And it has the same story where with the kids, where kids got in the accident, and if you put your car in neutral and put the baby powder or baking soda in your car, they'll push your car out of the way. And they say that is because they want to prevent an accident from happening. Matthew goes, as mentioned before, we have Spook Hill in Florida. And like I said earlier too, Brandon had mentioned there's one in Texas as well. So they're all over the place. Julissa goes, I think it's a magnetic pull. It could be the illusion thing. It all sounds, plausible. The hand thing, I mean, I guess you can dismiss it. Just wash your car before it. Go through one of those automatic ones, and then you'll know no one touched your car. That I feel like can be debunked. And if you had handprints on your car, that's not. I mean, if I had a smaller handprint on my car, I'll know it's not me. I mean, I don't have kids, so I'll be like, nope. I've always wanted to try it out, just haven't had a chance. But I did not know there was. I did not know. I guess there's 3. Because there's one up by Julissa as well. So I guess there's 3 in California. So that's crazy. It could be like what Julissa said, a magnetic pull, or it could be just like the illusion because of how the road is. Gunner Girl goes, we have Fear Farm here, and it's flipping scary. People jump on you or touch you in the dark. Oh, that is crazy. I think, Gunner Girl, I think I've heard of that one. I know there's one in Arizona that I heard about, but I don't remember the name of it. So it might be that one. Julissa goes, it's a fun place to visit. All right, guys, I am going to open up the stream, or I'm going to open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions, comments, could be spooky related, could be UFO related, could be anything. Go for it. Shelly goes, I don't like people jumping on me. I think I would punch the people out. I do not. I'm with you, Shelly. I don't like people touching me either, so I'd probably end up punching someone else. So they would need to sign a waiver for me too. If I accidentally punch you, ... I don't mind the jumping out because, like, at Universal Studios, you got the guys with the chainsaws. I always laugh because I know at Universal Studios they can't touch you, and all the girls are like, ah, and, and I'm like, and I just laugh because I'm like, dude, they can't touch you. What are they gonna do to you? I always feel like if there is a movie like that where there's a killer in a horror attraction. I forgot the name of it. But I always felt like I'd be one of the girls that'd be like, oh my God, this is so cool. You're not real. It ends up being real. They get close up to you, but they don't touch you in those. So I know, like, to me, the chainsaw wielding clowns or whoever it might be, I think this year it's something different because they announced some of the mazes already. But I know they won't touch me. So it's like, to me, it's like, what's up, guys? And they just look at me like, what? Julissa goes, they do get close. They do. They'll get in your face. And I kind of don't like that either. They do, because they're trying to scare you. But and they do that to me, and I just go like this, because I'm like, why are you so close to me? And they move on to the next because they didn't get me. I was like, I just stare at them. I'm like this. But I move back because they get up like this. Hold on, guys. I'll get to that in a minute. Guys, have any of you watched any horror movies lately? Give me a second, guys. Tyran goes, I watched Abigail last night, finally. Julissa goes, no, but I did watch the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Julissa, what did you think of I have not seen it. What did you think of it? And Tyran as well. I've seen Abigail. What did you guys think of it? If you guys have Peacock. Abigail is on Peacock. I know, I believe Tarot is now on Netflix. Hold on, guys. Let me check real quick. I think it was today it was supposed to drop. Give me a second, guys. I think it's supposed to come out today. It's a horror movie. About tarot cards. Yeah. So Tarot is out on Netflix if you guys want to check it out. I know some of you are like, what is tarot? So I'll kind of give I won't play the trailer, but I'll kind of do the synopsis. Tarot, it is on Netflix. It's when a group of friends recklessly violate the sacred rule of tarot readings. They unknowingly unleash an unspeakable evil trapped within the cursed cards. One by one, they come face to face with fate and end up in a race against death. I think the tarot cards come to life. What I saw in the trailer, I could be mistaken. That is on my list. Julissa goes, the jokes were raunchy. Tyrana goes, I liked it. Talking about Abigail, and then Julissa was speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine. Angelica saw Pearl. It was so weird at first. I almost gave up on it, but ended up kind of liking it. Angelica, I do like Pearl. I believe if you guys are into purchasing movies, I believe Maxine is going to be on VOD on the 2nd. I read somewhere, which is the 3rd and final installment of which starts with X, then Pearl, and then there's Maxine. And I'm looking forward to that. I usually wait for them to come on streaming, so I'll probably wait for it to come on streaming. Nowadays, movies, they go on streaming for like it seems like in 2 months they're in a streaming service. It just depends on if you have that streaming service. Project Metal Amigos, I used to watch a lot of horror movies back in the early 80s, but I haven't seen any that are decent in recent years. Project Metal Music, it seems like nowadays they're revamping all the older movies. Like I saw that they're revamping I Know What You Did Last Summer. And they're revamping, I know Blumhouse is revamping Blair Witch Project, which I'm like, why are you messing with the old films? I get it, you're trying to bring it to a new generation, but just leave them alone. Like, be more original, come up with something different. So it's like I've been seeing a lot of movies like that. I mean, there is I'm looking for it. I have not seen it. I believe it's still in theaters, is Longlegs. I am looking forward to see that, but I'm gonna wait for it to come on streaming. Because that looked kind of interesting. That's something different. There's a film that's coming out called Cuckoo. If you guys haven't seen that trailer, check it out. That looks like that's the type of film I want to see, something different. I don't want to see like the same thing. Angelica, yes. Angelica's saying I accidentally watched Pearl first, so is X first? Yes. I actually like Pearl better than X, but X is first. Shelly says they don't make them like they used to. Exactly. I agree. I prefer the horror movies from the 80s. Because I prefer more practical effects than CGI. Not to I do like CGI. I've seen CGI done beautifully in movies, so there's nothing wrong with CGI. I just prefer, because I grew up with the practical effects, I prefer the practical effects and the puppeteering and the stop motion. Emily goes, has anyone watched Arcadian with Nicolas Cage? No, I've heard of it, but I have not watched it. And I know A Quiet Place Day One is on streaming. So if you guys have not, if you're a fan of Quiet Place, check that out. To be honest with you guys, I did see I got to see an advanced copy of A Quiet Place Day One, and I felt like the other two movies were a lot better than that one. But if you're a fan of the film, I would watch it, but I just felt like the other two were just way better. And I get it, it's like day one, it's like the start of the whole thing, but still. And there's a cat in it. That was the only thing to be honest with you, I really liked about the film was the cat. And if you want to check out, because Lewis on Nuke the Fridge has an interview up with the director, I believe it's the director of hold on, let me see, because I was not. Yes, he has a interview with the director of The Quiet Place Day One on Nuke the Fridge. If you guys want to check it out, go ahead and go to Nuke the Fridge and check out that interview with the director of A Quiet Place. And it's right here. It's on Nuke the Fridge. Lewis did a great interview with him. So check it out. Again, I felt like the other two movies were a lot better, but I mean, I didn't feel like I was wasting my time. You know how sometimes you watch movies and you're like, oh, I wasted a whole hour watching it. I did not feel that way. So there's still some good points about it. I just felt like it was the weaker one of the other two. Angelica goes, I tried to watch Renfield, too dumb for me. I have not seen that yet. Project Mental Bees goes, one of my favorite horror movies is the 1982 movie is The Thing. Oh my God. I love that movie too. Julissa goes, I love the cat. Exactly. The cat was like, I was cheering for the cat throughout the entire film. So just a heads up, there is a cat in there. And the cat does a wonderful job. Bernadette goes, I actually got into something so spooky. They have face-sucked faces, corpse-looking people, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm obsessed, season 1. Yeah, you know what? Some of those shows could be horrific. Like, I don't know. It's like when you watch some of these like 90 Day Fiance, for example, and they're talking about the person they're with, and well, he does this, he does this, he does this, and I'm like, dude, he's from another country. Like, that's part of his culture. Like, what did you expect something different? Or he's so mean to me, but there's one girl where she blames her husband for everything. Like, it was a 90 Day Fiance thing. And he's been trying, like, I could see he's been trying, and she does not give him a chance. And then when he finally was like, I can't do this anymore, she's like, why are you leaving me? I've given you so many chances. Go, because you've ran away. What do you expect? Like, I don't get these people sometimes. I don't know. It's like weird watching people put their lives out there, and oh. Carol goes, I grew up in the 60s and 70s. The original Godzilla movies were dubbed. It was so funny. The voices never matched the mouth movements. I remember it's like the old Kung Fu movies. It'd be like, I am going over there. Let's fight. I remember those. Julissa goes, I think Frodo the cat stole the movie. I think it was a he cat. The cat definitely did. I agree with you, Julissa. So if you like cats, check out A Quiet Place Day 1. The cat outshined everybody. No, I'm just kidding. But I know, serious. I was rooting for the cat the whole time. Lisa Boo goes, they say it's reality TV, but what reality are they living in? True. Very true. Very true. I just feel like, I don't know why I watch. I mean, I guess I watch it because I like to see like the different cultures. Like, I like to see the places that they go to. And then I'm like, and then you're like, why do they do like obviously it's not gonna work. Like, he's doing everything, but you're blaming him for this. It's like, what the hell's going on? Like, Bernadette goes, when I go through what I've been going through lately, watching other people's dumb problems make you feel like, hey, true, because you see other people's problems and then you realize your problem isn't as big, or you can get through, you have better reasoning skills or whatnot, so it makes you kind of feel like, oh, you know what, I'm not that bad, or whatever it might be. Yeah, I know, I see what you're saying, Bernadette. Or some people, I think, go on there just because they want attention. They want to be on TV. Matthew goes, Police Academy, Michael Winslow doing a dub. You want to fight? You fight me? I remember that scene, Matthew. That's hilarious. Bernadette goes, I mean, I'd love them. I'm sure they're doing, yeah, I forget. There's dollar signs involved too. I forgot about that too. But then when you do it, you're putting your entire life out there for people to see. I don't know if I would want that. I mean, I guess they kind of debunked. There was a couple on there one time that were faking it. And she came out and I was doing it for the money. So yeah. I mean, I guess being on that show kind of opened you up for other things too. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I would pass unless I didn't care. There's some people that don't care. They'll be like, yeah, and Bernadette. They cannot make movies like Police again. They're gonna make a what is it? I can't think of the movie right now. Oh my god, Spaceballs 2. Because Matthew reminded me of that. They cannot make a Police Academy now. There'd be so many people on top of that movie. And it's same thing with Spaceballs. So I don't know how they're going. I think I talked about this before. I do not know how they are going to make a Spaceballs 2. Because I don't know if you guys are familiar with Spaceballs. There's the guys coming in the desert type of thing in there. So I mean, people would have a fit about that nowadays. And there's so many. It's the same thing in Police Academy. I love Police Academy. I grew up watching Police Academy. Oh my god. One of my favorite movies growing up. Probably didn't understand half the jokes, but love the movie. And Spaceballs too. I love Spaceballs. Lisa Boo, the Acme coming. Exactly. Like if they did that now. Bernadette goes, you and this beautiful chat are really cheering me up. Thank you. I needed this. I am glad we're cheering you up, Bernadette. That's what that's what I'm here for. I'm hoping to help you escape. And we have a great chat here, a great community that we've always kind of like a big family kind of in a way. So I'm always hoping that, if you guys are down, come on my stream. I'm hoping to lift you up and hopefully to cheer you up a little bit. So I'm glad to hear that, Bernadette. Emily Parkinson, I don't think I've seen Blazing Saddles, but I know that's another movie that they probably couldn't make today. Especially with Rick Moranis playing Dark Helmet. Oh my gosh. Oh. Logical Spark goes, hey, Mel Brooks is still alive barely. If he's on the sequels to Spaceballs, it'd be good. He's hilarious. I'm wishing they came out because there's a scene in Spaceballs with all that merchandise. But Lucas put a stop to the merchandise. And I'm so sad because there's some toys that were there I would have bought for Spaceballs. I think it was Lucas that put a stop to it. Matthew goes, no, I did not see you playing with your dolls again. Gunner Girl goes, I agree. I always get happy when I'm with you guys. That is super awesome. Chris goes, no way could Blazing Saddles be made. You know what? I need to put that on my list. I know of it, but I've never actually sat down and watched it. And I know, I did say I know it cannot be made today because I know, the type of film it is. Emily goes, may the Schwartz be with you. I always thought I had a crush on Lone Star when I was little. When I was younger, I was like, dang. No. Don't ask me why. Bernadette goes, I don't think anyone could ever get away from how much of a genius Mel freaking Brooks is. Now it's so sad we can't just be entertained without being Karens. Exactly. I agree. Back then, you could say the things that are said in those movies and everybody's fine. But I swear to God, there's probably people complaining about them now, today. But now, if you made a movie like that, it would be shut down before before it would even come to existence. Thank you, Tyrana. Always uplifting here. Much love, Lisa. Thank you. That is what I aim to do here. Chris goes, my dad used to take me to see every Mel Brooks movie. My dad would always watch police type movies or military ones. So Top Gun obviously was one I grew up watching. And then Police Academy. So that's how I remember those films. And then he would watch like Chuck Norris and Chuck Norris. I remember Chuck Norris. And of course I became a fan of them too as I was growing up. So Chuck Norris and what the heck is his name? Charles Bronson. And then I know someone mentioned my Bloodsport poster. I grew up watching Jean-Claude Van Damme. Love that movie. In fact, I noticed Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's promoting it again. So I'm wondering what's going on with it. Bernadette goes, Blazing Saddles. Excuse me as I whip this out. If you know, you know. I gotta put that on I'm putting that on my list. I'm making room for that. Because honestly, the reason why we go to movies is to escape. So, like, if we can escape for 2 hours, but there's always going to be that one person that's going to... Emily Parker goes, it's two. Like my dad, it's weird because I'm into horror movies. My dad wasn't really into horror movies. He was like the action, military, police kind of drama type thing. So I grew up watching that. It was when I got older is when I got into the horror movies. But I did watch them when I was a kid, but not as frequent as like, like the police dramas, the military ones, the... Shelly Fitzgerald goes, I love when they sit around the campfire farting, so I'm just juvenile, okay? like what Matthew says, they can't say that anymore. They can't. People will take it so out of context. Bernadette goes, yes, especially nowadays with everything going on. We need entertainment. No, oh my God, I have a problem with that. Blah, 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 blah. Exactly. But people will watch that, though. They do. But we don't need that when we're trying to go to a movie. If we choose to go to the movie, we should be able to choose to see that movie, I feel like. Not like, oh my God, why did they do this in this movie? It's like, go away. I get it if you're reviewing a movie, that's different. But what we're talking about is like someone talking about like something, they're being a Karen when it comes to the movie. There you go. So no one takes it out of context. Project Metal Music goes, Blazing Saddles is just a classic. Bernadette goes, I could so rant about this topic. No, I get it when you're doing a review and you have an opinion about something. That's something different. That's understandable. Everyone has a right to have an opinion. That's understandable because sometimes you watch those because you want to know how the show is or how the movie is. Sometimes they do the ones without spoilers. I get it. Those are fine. We're talking about like people that they see a scene in a movie and they get, like if Blazing Saddles came out now, for example, and we all would know what happens. So something like that. Shelly goes, I had to deal with a Karen at the movies once. Well, oh, that sucks, Shelly. Carol goes, Bruce Lee. There's a lot of people with Bruce Lee. Which I'm kind of, they're what they say with Bruce Lee, which is true because I've tried looking for them too. There's no videos out there of Bruce Lee actually fighting, and the few videos that they do have out, they're so grainy that you can't see the person's face. So it could be anybody. But there's people for Bruce Lee that say that. Bernadette's opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. Thank you, Gunner Girl. All right, real quick. I'm not just before I forget, because I will forget. Skeleduck, he's in a really easy place. I kind of made it easy, but he's right there. He's right next to Art the Clown and Sonic the Hedgehog. And he's on top of me as Funko Pop. The Grayson Report Funko Pop. So he is right there, right where my finger's pointing. I kind of made it easy today. I was like, yeah, I'll give it to you guys. Bernadette goes, I saw his booty. PJ Duck. Julissa goes, he was easy to spot tonight. Yeah, I kind of made it easy today. I said I'd make it hard, but then I was like, nah, we'll just put him right there for today. Shelly goes, I thought that was him. I can't believe it's August already. That's crazy. How fast the last 2 months have gone. And I know that everyone's like, spooky season starts today. Because I know Spirit Halloweens are going to start to open up. So, and I love Spirit Halloweens. I got to stay out of them, but I love them. And a lot of places, I think already there's places that have put their some of their Halloween stuff out already. So it's crazy. Matthew goes, Skeleduck twerk. Yep. Julissa goes, it's crazy. Summer's flying by. It is. Like, I could remember, I was like, when it started to get hot, I was like, oh my God. There's 3 months of this left. Now it's like 2. 2.5. Bernadette goes, Emily, kids start school next Thursday. Kids start school here, not next Thursday, but the week after that. They start school here on the 13th in my area. Bernadette goes, spooky is all year for me. Same here, but I like seeing it. Same here for me, but I like seeing it when it's in the stores. So I get super excited. I like to see all the decorations and the skeletons that they're coming out with this year. And the animatronics. They had some cool animatronics they were talking about. Like they have a Terrifier one and a Michael Myers one. I was like, but the problem is the animatronic for the Terrifier, I felt like they have the little girl too. I felt like the little girl looked more realistic than the Terrifier one. But I was like, I don't have room for those. Tammy goes, kids here on the 14th. Julissa goes, yes, 14th for my kids. Matthew goes, there have been Halloween stuff out since May. I know Walmart started carrying the Halloween stuff too. So Shelly goes, I love the Halloween store. I do too, because it has all crazy stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I want that. I want that. I want that. That's a problem. I got to stay out of those. Bernadette, you and me both. It's like a 12-foot skeleton. It's funny. My neighbor still has it still has both of their skeletons out in their front yard. I every time I walk by them, I'm like, oh my God, those are so awesome. And they've kept them up since Halloween. That's what's so cool about it. And the city hasn't said anything to them. But they have the big 12-foot skeletons. They have the pumpkin head one. And then they have, I so want one. I'm with you, Bernadette. But where am I going to put it? Oh, David Carradine from, Kung Fu, The Legend Continues. And he was also in Kill Bill. Matthew goes, only fair when Christmas stuff comes out before Halloween, but a lot of people don't like, they prefer the Halloween decor over Christmas decor, like myself. But there's some people that love Christmas decor. I'm more of a Halloween person myself. Panda, ours is usually out on the week after Labor Day. I know there's some people that's already decorating now. Julissa goes, right, Bernadette, where could we store it? Shelly goes, yes, the big skeleton. Julissa goes, the giant. Oh, yes. There are so many things like that are coming out this. Like, they have like this 3-headed dog that like has like fog coming out of its mouth. And I'm like, but where am I going to put it? Yeah, I saw Matthew. I saw the Slimer. That is so cool. And then, oh my God, Trick or Treat Studios. I saw what they're coming out with. They're coming out with the Gremlins from Gremlins 2. Like I have Mugwai, right? Or Gizmo. But they're coming out. I almost died. I almost died. I was like, no way are they coming out with this. Let me see if I can find it. But they're coming out with they have like the 1/6 scale. Because I saw this. Hold on, let me show. I saw this and I was like, so this is the first one I saw, and I was like, because I want a Billy puppet so bad, and this is the more affordable version. And I was like, oh. but then I saw, and I went crazy. Because I was kind of scrolling, and I have this Mugwai or Gizmo, but then I saw, hold on, let me see if they show him. I saw this, and I almost died. He's one of my favorite ones from the second one. I was like, oh. He's my favorite gremlin from the second one. He's like all over the place. He always makes me laugh, and I almost died in my chair when I saw this. Bernadette goes, when I move, I will have a home for it. Bernadette goes, I spent $400 last year in a Halloween store, and I don't regret it. I don't remember how much I spent, but I know I spent quite a amount. And I nearly died. So he's gonna be on my wish list somewhere. Because I was like, oh my God, he's like my favorite one from that movie. Because he's so, I don't know, he's so cute. But they have the other ones too. They don't just have him. But like they have him. He was kind of the one that would whack people in the head. I thought that was kind of hilarious. They also have a Gremlins 2 Mugwai as well coming out. and they have him. He's cute too. And then they have one of the bad ones. But I nearly died when I saw that. I was like, Shelly goes, does the cupcakes? The cupcakes probably doesn't come with them. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to come in a box like mine is in. Because the one I have in my background is also from Trick or Treat Studios. Actually, I got them at Mad Monster. I think 2 years ago. Bernadette goes, oh my God, I dated someone like that a long time ago. Memories, not. Carol goes, he was talking of David Carradine. He was Grasshopper in the original Kung Fu. I loved Kung Fu. I used to watch because it came out with a TV series. I think it was Kung Fu. Yeah, they came out with a TV series that also had David Carradine in it too, if I'm not mistaken. I used to watch that. I used to watch the newer one. Bernadette Dodd, I dated all the gremlins. But when I saw that, I nearly died. I was like, oh my God. I have to have him. I mean, Trick or Treat already has like the big Billy prop that talks and everything, but that one's like expensive. One day. Matthew goes, I watched Kung Fu The Legend Continues in the 90s. That's the one I watched, Matthew, and I loved it. But I can't wait to see what skeletons they have. Because I collect skeletons, so we'll see what they have this year. I know last year I got Ronald. I think his name's Ronald. And then I got the alien. I got the, what is it? You can't see it though. I have the wolf skull mask, and then I got an alien skeleton back there. And I also got a spider. The snake I just had it in the other room. Logical Spark, I got it. Or I saw it. I haven't checked it out yet, but I saw it. Thank you, Logical Spark. You should play it here. I can't, if it's a YouTube video, I think it was a YouTube. I can't because YouTube likes to be pesky. You got to be careful whose video you use because it does, if you use their video, it does tell them that you're using your video. So if they're in a good mood, they may not strike you. But I know this is happened to one of the paranormal guys on here. He talked about someone else's video. And mind you, the guy that was talking about the other video has a bigger following than the guy that copyrighted him. And that's how I found out. I had no idea you could check if someone used your video, but you can. And he didn't say anything bad about him at all. But the guy decided to copy strike him. So he did a video about it. That's how I found out. I was like, oh crap, I didn't know. So that's why I'm kind of got to be careful who I play their videos of. I kind of knew Jason from Ghost Hunters wouldn't ding me because he wants the message out. But you never know. But I don't think he would do that though. Sorry. But I'm still, oh my God, my stuff is falling off. Sorry. I'm still kind of careful when I use other people's videos. Even with TikToks, I'm kind of like, I was kind of like a little hesitant with the Instagram because of what happened to Nerd Report recently. He got his whole entire channel demonetized. So it's like, now I'm like, I'm not going to take any chances. And I know it's happening to other people because they're also going on and saying that they're getting age restricted or whatnot, but it sucks. Bernadette goes, so do you like Zach's song video? I said, the funny thing is, it's hilarious. The funny thing is, it's Dakota from Project Fear before he was on Destination. Well, he was he was a camera person. I believe he's in the Queen Mary episode of Ghost Adventures. He's a cameraman in Ghost Adventures. He did a few Ghost Adventures, and then he did a show called Destination Fear, but they weren't renewed, so they started a Project Fear. So Dakota is in it, and he's playing Zach. So it's hilarious. Thank you, Shelly. Matthew goes, they have Evil Dead stuff. The dagger. Oh, I saw that. They also have, which I've been eyeing. It's on my list. They have the lament configuration but it's from it's from one of the films that I don't. It's after 1 through 4. I think it's from the 5th film, the box from the 5th or 6th film. I don't remember, but I still want it. I'm like, because I've always wanted a lament configuration, but I want a good one. I don't want like a cheap plastic one, because I've gotten ones where they were cheap plastic ones. I don't want one like that. I want one that's actually like a good prop. So yes, Bernadette, I do like it. It's hilarious. And now I know where you got that from. It's Dakota's like, yeah, do you see it? Like, it's like, and then the guy that's playing Aaron is like, yeah, I really am seeing your butt cheeks. And I'm just laughing. And he's like zooming in on the red thong. Matthew, so it's Tarman 16 scale figure in the Trixon barrel with the split dog. They have some cool stuff at Trick or Treat Studios. Thank you, Tyrana. And the thong, because it was a sparkly red thong. It's hilarious. I had no idea that's where you got it from, Bernadette. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's hilarious. All right, guys, any last minute questions before I end this stream? We kind of went on a rabbit hole at the end, but that's all right. That's what we're all about. Any last minute questions, guys, before I end this stream? Matthew goes, a sloth mask from the Goonies, freaking awesome. That's what I was going to do. I was going to bring my mask that I have from The Strangers. I was going to bring it in here, and I forgot. You reminded me, Matthew. Thank you. Matthew goes, yes again. Why is Luce not cool as you? All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Grayson Report. Hold on, Bernadette. Yes, did you ever find out what those people were there under your tree for? No, I did not, Bernadette. All right, guys. I did not. I just drove off, and I never asked them anything. I probably could have, but they didn't look like they were up to no good. So I was like, whatever. Guys, thank you for joining me on this edition of Grayson Report. I'll see you on the next one. I believe this Saturday I'm going to a music festival, so I may not be on Saturday, but I may have a video. I may do like a video to keep you occupied. But I will see you on the next one. Be there, be squared, stay spooky, guys. Sweet nightmares. If I don't see you guys Saturday, I will see you Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just keep an eye out on your socials. Good night, guys, and thank you.